Pablo Barragán, our next guest, was born in the city of Tijuana, and he's a key figure in the Baja California culinary world. I could learn a lot from this media expert and TV host. He's appeared on air with Televisa, TV Azteca, and Telemundo across the southwestern U.S. as well as in Mexico. He was host of the Battaglia Culinaria, the culinary battle, in 2014, which was part of the Tijuana Innovadora. And he went on to host the Baja Culinary Fest for 2 years straight. I had the pleasure of being there, and I know he did a great job. Pablo earned a master's degree in Mexican cuisines at Tijuana's Culinary Arts School and has lectured at gastronomic events throughout Mexico. Pablo, thank you very much for joining us today, sir.
Thank you for having me. I'm very honored. I have to say, I grew up watching the first generation of Tijuana Window to the South, and it's a great honor for me to be here. I was born here in Tijuana, so it was part of our culture to watch the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure, and congratulations on a successful career as well. Will you please tell us a little bit about what brought you into the culinary world and just, being able to share that to everybody here in the beautiful state of Baja?
Well, it was kind of a crazy adventure. It started like that. I was invited by Javier Gonzalez and Ana Laura Martinez. You know them from Culinary, the founders of Culinary Arts School, to start the masters in Mexican cuisine. And I thought, this is crazy. I studied communications. I have a master's in human development. I've been working for almost 30 years in the media as a news anchor. What am I doing in a gastronomic master's degree? But they said that we need somebody with your profile, investigation, and to research about Mexican cuisine. And I started it, and I loved it.
Wow. It's such a deep subject too. One never stops learning about Mexican cuisine because there are so many variations just on a single dish, depending on what state you're in, what city you're in, what village you're in, what house you're in. There's so many variations. It's incredible.
And then also, if you notice, like every flavor gets your mind to think about something unique and inspiration, and your mind just wanders. How were you able to connect all that with your? You just mentioned in your career, you mentioned something about development.
Human development.
Yeah.
It was the first master's degree that I got. And it didn't have anything to do with, I thought it didn't have anything to do with gastronomy, but
it does.
It does. It does, because, after all these years doing research about Mexican cuisine, traveling all over Mexico, and knowing so many traditional cooks and chefs, I've learned that if all Mexicans knew all the richness in traditional Mexican cuisine, we would be better Mexicans because we would
just
be so
human.
proud. Yes, yes, definitely. I'm sorry. Cooking and keeping up with keeping all these traditions alive. It's as you mentioned before. It's so human.
Yes, and in fact, a lot of the cuisines of the different regions of Mexico are recognized by UNESCO as intangible heritage assets. Tell us a little bit about that, Pablo, if you could.
Exactly. This is something that belongs to all Mexico, but it was because of one sample, I should say it like that. They presented to UNESCO the example of the cuisine of Michoacan.
They were the first.
Yes. This came after a few trials before. They tried to have that. UNESCO at first, it was like, what is this? They didn't know how to declare the traditional cuisine of a country heritage for humanity.
Wow.
So the first intention came from Oaxaca, it didn't work out. So they said, okay, go back, do your job, you do your research, bring us some more material or
Yes.
whatever we need.
Right.
And they didn't do it, so Michoacan made their first attempt, yes. And it wasn't complete, so after the second one, they presented everything, and then this convention in Nairobi, Kenya, where they brought cooks, cocineras tradicionales, this
Yes,
is how we call
traditional
them.
cooks.
Yes, traditional cooks from the Meseta Purépecha
Ooh,
and from different regions of Michoacan. And then all of a sudden, it was a big surprise when all the delegates of UNESCO
I can imagine
stood
the
up.
flavors and the smell.
Yes, it was incredible. I wasn't there, unfortunately, but I've heard the story from people who were there.
Yes.
Like Juanita Bravo.
She's fabulous.
Yes, she's
fabulous.
wonderful. And she told us how all the delegates stood up and they declared that Mexican cuisine was had this recognition for all humanity. And it was the first one in human history.
Wow.
So it's amazing.
If you, I mean, just thinking about it, is all of the senses can get connected. The aromas, you know, the looking at the colors, and obviously the flavor.
Yes, and culturally we're very attached to all of that. So when they declared Mexican cuisine as human heritage, it was not like the dishes. It was all behind of the dishes. The culture, the nostalgia,
history, the
and all the traditions that brings this country and this culture together.
And
so yeah.
Your mind goes to your heart goes to obviously your everything, right? And it just flies.
Totally, yes.
And these traditional cocineras are just like, cherished, assets, jewels of Mexico. And if you haven't eaten with somebody like Juana Bravo or Benedicta Viejo from Michoacan also, you really haven't eaten Mexican food, because they're working from the roots, they're working from the source, the original recipes, and keeping that tradition alive.
Yes, I totally agree. In order for us to really know traditional Mexican food, we need to go there.
Yes.
We need to try what they brought us from the past.
Yes.
So, yes, I have to say, a lifetime, it's not enough to learn all about Mexican cuisine.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, I want to learn more. Olga, are you ready to learn some more?
I want to learn it, I want to taste it, and I want to learn how to do it. What a pleasure it is to have you here.
Thank
you. It is not only a wonderful reminder of the beauty that we have, but also of the gifts that we have when you come to Mexico. Thank you so much for coming to Baja Window to the South.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. We really enjoyed talking with you
It was a
today and
pleasure.
learning about Mexican gastronomy.
Thank you very much.